welcome to TED.
Thank you very much. The first TED has been great.
Have you met anyone interesting?
Well, the nice thing about TED is everybody's interesting. I was very glad to see Goldie Hawn because I had an apology to make to her. I'd had dinner with her about 2 years ago, and she had this big wedding ring, and I put it on my finger, and I couldn't get it off. And I went home to my wife that night, and she wanted to know why I had another woman's massive big wedding ring on my finger. And anyway, the next morning we had to go along to the jeweler and get it cut off. So, apologies to Goldie.
That's pretty good. So we're going to put up some slides with some of your companies here. You started one or two in your time. So, Virgin Atlantic, Virgin Records. I guess it all started with a magazine called Student, and then yes, all these other ones as well. I mean, how do you do this?
I read all these sort of TED instructions. You must not talk about your own business and this. And now you asked me, so I suppose you're not going to be able to kick me off the stage since you asked the question. So,
it depends what the answer is. But
no, I mean, I think I learned early on that if you can run one company, you can really run any companies. I mean, companies all about finding the right people and inspiring those people, drawing out the best in people, and I just love learning, and I'm incredibly inquisitive, and I love taking on the status quo and trying to turn it upside down. So I've seen life as one long learning process, and if I see. If I fly on somebody else's airline and find the experience is not
Virgin no longer or something.
Again, we may have had problems finding. I mean, often when you launch a company and you get customer complaints, you can deal with them. But about 3 months after launching the condom company, I had a letter of complaint, and I sat down and wrote a long letter back to this lady apologizing profusely, but obviously there wasn't a lot I could do about it. And then 6 months later, or 9 months after the problem had taken, I got this delightful letter with a picture of the baby asking if I'd be godfather, which I became. So all worked out well.
Really?
Again. Yes.
You should have brought a picture. That's wonderful.
And if I'm not interested in something, I just don't grasp it. As somebody who's dyslexic, you also have some quite bizarre situations. I mean, for instance, I've had to, I've been running the largest group of private companies in Europe, but haven't been able to know the difference between net and gross. And so the board meetings have been fascinating. And so, is that good news or bad news? And generally people would say, oh, well, that's bad news. but
just to clarify, the $25 billion is gross, right? That's gross.
Well, I hope it's net, actually, having fun. I've got it right.
No, trust me, it's gross.
No, so when I turned 50, somebody took me outside the boardroom and said, "Look, Richard, here's let me draw on a diagram. Here's a net in the sea, and the fish have been pulled from the sea into this net, and that's the profits you've got left over in this little net, and everything else is I finally worked it all out." So. I don't actually think that the stereotype of a business person treading all over people to get to the top. Generally speaking, works. I think if you treat people well, people will come back and come back for more. And I think all you have in life is your reputation, and it's a very small world. And I actually think that the best way of becoming a successful business leader is dealing with people fairly and well, and like to think that's how we run Virgin.
And what about the people who love you and who see you keep getting caught up in these new projects? I mean, it almost feels like you're addicted to launching new stuff you get excited by.
Yes, I mean we're setting up something called the War Room, which is maybe the wrong word. We're trying to, maybe it would change it, but anyway, it's a war room to try to coordinate all the attack that's going on in Africa, all the different social problems in Africa, and try to look at best practices. So, for instance, there's a doctor in Africa that's found that if you give a mother antiretroviral drugs at 24 weeks when she's pregnant, that the baby will not have HIV when it's born, and so disseminating that information to around the rest of Africa is important.
And War Room sounds powerful and dramatic. And is there a risk that the business heroes of the West get so excited about? I mean, they're used to having an idea, getting stuff done, and they believe profoundly in their ability to make a difference in the world. Is there a risk that we go to places like Africa and say, we've got to fix this problem, we can do it, I've got all these billions of dollars, here's the big idea, and kind of...
Well, I think that people do things for a whole variety of different reasons, and I think that when I'm on my deathbed, I will want to feel that I've made a difference to other people's lives, and that may be a selfish thing to think, but it's the way I've been brought up. I think if I'm in a position to radically change other people's lives for the better, I should do so.
How old are you?
I'm 56.
I mean, the psychologist...
I don't think I think too much about legacy. I mean, I'd like to, my grandmother lived to 101, so hopefully I've got another 30 or 40 years to go. No, I just want to, live life to its full. If I can make a difference, I hope to be able to make a difference. And I think, one of the positive things at the moment is, you've got, Sergey